Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Tales of Tiger Lily. We are doing a reading in the dark tonight. Not intentionally, but because the power went out about a moment before I was going to start filming. So here we are. I'm going to do my best to do this in the dark with a little light here. So let's see if you can see this. I'm going to have to hold it up when I show you the card. Maybe like that. Okay. Yeah, as I was tuning in before the power went out with the storm that we're having here, for those who were meant to be here, the message that I'm hearing is consciously complete, and like you're at the end of a cycle, and I think you know it. God, I just looked at myself in the camera. I look so creepy. Like, pardon that. But yeah, I feel like this is a group of individuals, or even maybe just one individual who this is meant for, who knows that they're ready for the next stage of life. And in fact, you have already set up the foundation for that stage. And there may even be a bit of anxiety. I heard the words, sorry, this one a little bit dark, but I heard the words conscious feelings of abuse. Okay. So for someone in particular, and I'm really sorry if you're dealing with this, but it feels like there may be a situation where something is coming to a head where you are finally really feeling a mask drop and becoming just how aware you are of a situation that has felt abusive in some way, and you are more than ready to leave it. And on some level, I think it's something that you've known for a long time, but it's almost like, I'm hearing like almost like comically, like it's not funny, but it is funny, and how blatant this person or this organization or this situation has become, and just like how overt like the abuse has become, whether someone's like going out of their way to be nasty to you or keep control over you. And in fact, the reason they're doing so is because they sense that they have already lost their grip on you. You have already completed what you needed to, let's turn the light off here. What you needed to complete to leave this behind and start the next chapter of your life. So that is going to scare somebody who is used to having control over you. So looking at this, there's really nothing for you to fear in this situation, even if it feels a little bit scary. Of course, take this how it resonates. If you are in an unsafe situation, reach out to family, friends, professionals to get yourself into a safe situation. I completely understand how sometimes you might need to make a move to protect yourself. But I'll say for the majority of you, yeah, I really think that only applies to maybe one or a very small group of individuals. I think most of the soul group that is aligning with this message is simply at a point where it's like they're shedding an old skin and just finally seeing it for the illusion that it was, or what's another way to put it? Because it's not like your experience wasn't real or your experience was an illusion. It's just more like you're realizing the constraint was an illusion, and that it's time for you to move forward to a grander version of yourself. So that's all I want to share for the moment before I pull another card. I think we're ready. I'm going to go here. I'm hearing get ready for the next stage. Okay. Got like a process here. Now I have to hold this up. Devotion, inner temple, tune into the portal of your heart. So I like that I'm seeing twins in this, because what I'm seeing is like you connecting with a parallel version of yourself and the reality that you want to go towards. It's like you finally, even if you don't have the path laid out and you don't know the how, and in fact you don't need to know the how because that's not your job, that's the universe's job, you have the like you have the wayfinding, you have the compass pointed in the right direction, you have the North Star that you know you want to follow. So even if you don't know the route, like you've connected with the feeling of who you want to be. And that is the biggest key to moving yourself into another timeline. So you have all of the pieces of the puzzle in place. I'm hearing that the atmosphere is welcoming to you now. The temperature's right, the water's warm, dive in. So it's like that previous environment that felt abusive, constrictive, cruel, harsh, just dissonant, like out of alignment with who you are. It's already dissolving. You want to live from your imagination as if you're in this new environment where the water feels warm, where the environment feels nurturing, warm, welcoming, and then watch as that reality materializes around you. All right, very powerful stuff. I'm just like being super careful here because I also have a candle. I don't want to set the house on fire. So it's just on the table next to me here. I'm just being really conscious of where I place things down. Okay, I did not drop that. Ooh. I feel like lately I've been getting a lot of like fire imagery. We had that in the first card too. But look at this. Release your guilt. So if there's anything you've been holding on to, especially again from people who may, and we're not going to say like there's anyone evil here, right? I think for the majority of us, like the people who may be trying to pull you back or constrain you or kind of like keep you small in that old reality, they're doing it out of their own fear. Sometimes it is malicious. So often it's really just they're scared. They're probably watching you change. They're sensing there's something different about you. It makes them unsettled. And it may make them unsettled because they're afraid to face some change that they maybe secretly want to make but don't know how to make, or they don't want to make. And they don't like seeing that you are evolving. Sometimes there are individuals who don't like to see you evolve because they're seeing that you're changing into a version that they don't have control over. So, you know, whatever the intent behind that is, don't hold on to guilt that's not yours. I'm really sensing that this is releasing like guilt and emotions and sort of burdens that never belonged to you to begin with. They were things that you took on from other people, like someone making you feel guilty or kind of like even offhandedly commenting like, you're so like out there, you're always so chatty and talkative. And you know, even if they weren't trying to suppress you in some way, maybe they said it in a tone, or they said it often enough, or they said it in a way where their message was, you can't be yourself fully without feeling guilt around it. And you're releasing that now when you realize that in this new environment that you are co-creating and imagining into being, the most abundant form of you is that witty, vibrant, expressive self that was too much for some people, but is just right in this new world. And so it's like realizing that something that you may have felt intrinsically guilty over, some core part of you, was in fact an artificial imposition upon you that was never a true thing to feel guilty over. Like, unless, I hope not, but unless you guys like murdered somebody or committed like grand larceny or some other serious crime, like my guess is from the, the feeling I'm getting is like, this is just a crowd of people who has felt kind of like a guilt they can't place over kind of existing. Like something about you that was just, I don't know, too much for other people you were made to feel guilty about. And that is what you're dissolving now. So it's a really cool and beautiful time because it's like this new world you're going into and that you're really already in the edges of. It's almost like I'm seeing like bleeding watercolors. Like you are really beginning to live in the edges of it. And it feels so good. Like I'm seeing like crystal cerulean seas, like the kind of waters where it's all kind of overlapping currents and dappled, and you can see the sandy bottom like dozens of feet down, like it's super clear and blue and beautiful. It's that kind of like calm, peaceful, serene, nurturing, warm environment where you feel at ease in the deepest of your emotional depth. Yeah, that's what I think that water is. So yeah, exciting times, guys. All right, we're gonna move on to a little bit of tarot here. And then we'll wrap it up, and I'll just try to, you know, live in the dark here. Lights come back on soon. Always a little unpredictable here because I live in the country, and they, you know, they work very hard, but we just have a lot of trees. So when a power line goes down, it's like, I don't even know. Oop, okay. There we go. Ooh, talking of emotional depths here, we have the moon. Let me hold these. I'm going to just hold these up again one by one because they're so beautiful. They're really worth seeing. Especially this deck is like so cool and the art is so detailed. It's called, what is it called? Oh. Of course it's like all the way over there. Oh, Heavenly Bloom, the Heavenly Bloom deck. I love this deck. It's also got, it's hard to see, but it has this rose gold edging on the cards. I absolutely love it. And then each of the suits has like different lore. So we have the moon, and then we have the Queen of Swords that popped out. She's really cool. I'm seeing a lot of purple too, which to me is always that third eye, that chakra of intuition. And then the Six of Swords. So there's a lot of decision making going on, emotional decision making. And it feels like, I love seeing the Queen and the Moon together because to me it's almost like emotional intelligence and really like seeing yourself so clearly for the first time and really understanding. And I'm getting chills here, so I feel like I'm really on the mark for somebody at least. But it's like this is maybe the first time you've understood an emotional truth about yourself. And I'm seeing and hearing like shedding layers of skin, like almost like, again, those layers of shame, like, oh my God, I carried decades of shame around this thing when it was really because someone made me feel bad about this thing about me, which was maybe a great part about me, or maybe it was like, you know, a medical condition I couldn't help, and now I'm able to put a name to it, and I feel so much less shame now because I realize like I'm not isolated and alone in the finger pointing of you know, being a freak for having this situation. Some of you, it feels like maybe you're getting diagnosed for the first time with like ADHD, for example, and you're realizing like, oh my God, there's nothing wrong with my brain. It's just wired differently from some people. And I just need different strategies. And I have different strengths and advantages because of that wiring that these people can't do and they never really appreciated. And that's not shaming them either. This is really like a big social issue. So there's just like one example. It's just like there's like an uncovering and it's all very loving. And the whole point of it is to dissolve the shame for you and the people around you, right? Because it's not about that anymore. It's not important. It's like, it's not relevant and it's not helpful to feel shame. So we are letting that go. Now the Six of Swords, I feel like there's an additional message here. And when I'm looking, oftentimes the Six of Swords comes up with someone trying to kind of like get away with a plan that maybe they haven't asked for someone else's help on. Like they're kind of like, I can do it all on my own. But I kind of see more like you, at least in this deck's interpretation and just the vibe I get from it, it's like you're learning to trust your own approach to strategy without feeling like you have to ask someone else's permission to approve of how you problem solve or approve of like how you make life choices. And that is another big key with uncovering the emotional truth that you're in right now. So yeah, because look at this really beautiful, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little like gold bird that he's holding in his hand. It's so beautiful and sweet to me. It feels like something really like cherished. So I really like that vibe of like, so it's like, wow, I never appreciated this thing about me before. It's so cool and unique and special. And I'm the only one who knows how to tame this little bird and work with it. So yeah, so all in all, guys, this just feels like it's such an exciting, vibrant time of awakening and stepping into a new chapter and embracing and integrating a side of yourself that you had previously thought was a problem. So please let me know if the comments, if any of this resonates. If you do, please like, share, subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, hopefully with the lights on. Bye.